Well, welcome viewers, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for coming by.
See, it's pink. You know it's pink.
Relationships start off hard and fast. They're the ones you got to watch out for. But when you're lonely, you don't notice that. You think it's just a normal way of going in. It's not. But it's not. You start to develop a bit of a compatible schedule between one another. You think everything's going fine. But inside the psyche of the person that you're with, there's a disinterest. There's things that happen in their mind that will sabotage what's going on the surface. They're not going to tell you this. And there's a devalue going on in their mind. It's covert. It's covert because they're not going to have the courage to speak to you about it because they're frightened they'll lose you. And that's not going to bring them supply. You're a new form of supply for this person. So they'll bring you in hard, let you know everything about what's happened to them in life and why they're on their own and what life's done to them. And they'll play on your heartstrings, giving you sex, all that. But underneath, they have a fear and a knowing that the relationship probably won't work for them. The reason for this is they know from their past experiences the way they live doesn't work. And you'll then come to a situation where you need to kind of confront the issue. And being a person of standard and somebody that's tried to navigate their way through life in a way in which it's going to leave something for your children and your children's children, they get a shock. They've come out of a relationship where they've been with someone that had no standards, or the standards that they had were disrespected and forgotten. The standards that they had weren't adhered to. Everybody just did what they liked. Turned into a big rebellion against the authority of the house, usually by way of that person's own self-destructive behaviours. The male gets driven out of the home because he just was unable to perform, although he's provided for decades. To some extent, it must have been okay because the person hung around. Now you have a split family, completely split. The mother and the children against the father. The father leaves. This is the typical scenario today. Children lose respect for the father via the mother's attitudes and opinions of what she believed he is, and he's probably brought that on himself anyway. Oh, excuse me. Just come out of the gym and that. And now there's nobody to check the mother or the children. And this is where it gets ugly. Because the mother now is running the roost. But what's her life like? What's going on in her private life? This is what we need to look at. This is what we need to try and understand, because now there's no check on her. She's free to do what she thinks is right. A lot of these people from one extreme are over-religious. To the other extreme are drug addicts, functioning alcoholics, on medications and things to try and numb what they've done in the past. Reckless sex, and although they enjoyed it, I've been with women that have said they've had sex outside the marriage, inside the marriage, and with other men, and loved every minute of it because the husband wasn't performing. There was no representation of masculinity sexually within the house, and the woman's instincts required that element of life. And you can't blame a woman for that. Moral instinct always wins over moral. I've always said that, and I'll stand by it. Instinct always wins over moral, and there's no point being disappointed about that. It's just how it is. May not suit, and that's why as a man or a woman you have to cover all aspects of a relationship: emotional, mental, psychological, spiritual, intellectual, physical. You have to contribute on every front. And if you don't, then things happen that you don't want to have happen. That's it. Things happen that you didn't go into the relationship to have happen. And so the relationship starts to become a bit skew if the closeness now has little openings for void. And the closer you try and get, the more these mysterious voids in the relationship begin to surface. And you notice it and you think to yourself, where are these voids coming from? Well, the fact of the matter is these people have different perspectives to what you have. You've initially loaded them up with the femininity or masculinity that they wanted. It's like feeding the hungry. Once they've got food, as grateful as they might be, they're off to where they really want to go, and that's fine. And it's going to be a journey to see how long you'll tolerate this stuff until you say, I'm not going to give any more. You'll probably get blamed for things that are going wrong, even though the problems have nothing to do with you. You'll encounter incredible situations that you never could have made up yourself. They'll keep coming at you. And it appears that you've found yourself in a relationship with someone that is really damaged. Unfortunately, damaged. And that's sad. And it's sad for you. Really sad. Because now it's your job to try and work out how you separate from someone that you're supposed to love. Problem with it is, it's not a healthy relationship. It's nothing like it. And now you've got to work out how to walk away. You've tried all the strategies to keep things in order. You've tried all the strategies to keep things moving. And they keep turning up contrary to what you have asked them to. They're turning up. They've been speaking to other men. They're turning up. They've been doing things that they shouldn't have been, talking about you behind their back, and all that stuff. You get driven to the point where they line you up for a reverse discard. They don't want to get out. So they take you out. They put you in a position where you walk out. You walk away. And it's all just a waste of time. A waste of life. Yeah, there's experiences and, all that stuff. But it all ends up just being a waste of time.